that's another one.
Smiley actually wanted to ask, would it be recommended to flush with some nutrient in the water to replace the sodium on the exchange sites?
Smiley, I fucking love your ass, dude. That was the approach. I got him connected with BioAg, and I said, I want you to use this Calmino. So Chris Vic, who's the managing CEO or CFO, I'm not sure. He's high up. He's a C. And the other gentleman was Richard or Michael. He's the sales rep. And we had Josh and brain drain, puppy brain, fucking puppy brain. Their names don't matter. They were on the recent show. So anyway, their bosses were in communication with Chris and I discussing how to move those salt ions off. And calcium was my number one choice because calcium is double bonded and salt is single bonded. So potassium and salt are very easy to flush if you have the nutrients in the delivery system. Right. So for whatever reason, I don't know whether it was political or internal pressure, which I kind of do know, but I can't say. He ended up going the traditional route instead of the Calmino. And so unfortunately, we were hoping to get a bunch of data out of that. And I parallelly did another test on a soil mix I made. I'm blending an A Horizon for a client out here, and I'm trying to hit the sweet spot. So I want to see 75% calcium. I want to see 17% magnesium and 8% potassium, and I want to see no other ions. I don't want to see any salts or anything like that. And so I've been playing with that formula. I'm on my fourth iteration at this point. But I was doing the same thing in the soils out here, both because the water has so much sodium in it, and you need water to make compost, that I was having a similar issue. I had, like 20% of my cation exchange sites were salt, and that's no good. I'm losing 20% of my bank account. And that means if I do apply a calcium product, I will bump those off, but I have to use calcium to do that. Well, calcium in the form of gypsum, I threw my fucking sulfur out of whack, right? Too much sulfur. Right. So then I started recently playing with quicklime, which is basically pure calcium, nothing else, and had great results, but I fucked my pH up.
It isn't one thing, it's another, damn it.
Damn soil chemistry is a bitch. So to answer your question, Smiley, yes, the only way you can push those guys off of the CEC sites is with a product that has a higher capacity to bond. So 2 electrons instead of 1.
Yeah, and he wanted to point out the only problem is the Calmino is pretty high nitrogen to apply as a calcium additive.
Yeah, so and I'm glad you said that, because in the experiment that I did out here, I used Calmino versus lime, or at that time it was versus gypsum. And I did see a good bump in the Calmino, but the question was it as effective as lime? And the answer is no, not even close. A lot of the Calmino, because it's in amino acid form, is a lot more mobile than the chemistry counterpart of gypsum or quicklime. I mean, it did have an effect, but it did not have the desired effect level that I wanted. So one of the things I'll be doing in the future, near future, is playing with Calmino, quicklime, and a little bit of gypsum to see if I can kind of massage in this exchange without, blowing the budget. Because again, you're dealing with money at the end of the day is the controlling or limiting factor. So if I just use pure Calmino, I'd spend a fortune. I'd get a response, but was the response economically viable? And probably not. So again, the work continues.
Well, and it's a never-ending process, isn't it, Leighton? I mean, come on. The more we learn, the more we realize we don't know anything yet.
Ain't that the fucking truth? And that nature in infinite beauty and wisdom, it can be a bitch, right? She can fucking be a real bitch.
Oh, so,
any one of these environmental changes, too moist, not enough moisture, too high pH, too low pH, all affect the chemistry and the biology. So you're juggling all these three things and praying to God that you had your hand in the right place to catch the ball when it comes down, or fuck, there goes that experiment out the window.
Yeah. The more we know, the less you know. Yeah. And then, of course, Shearer says, my goal is no money in, just sweat equity, which is really what the goal of most of us is.